I bought 2 broken SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SPs to see if I can fix them. Before we get to that though, I do want to give you a little bit of a health update. As most of you probably know by now, I was diagnosed with lymphoma back in December of 2023. I went through about 6 months of chemotherapy and my last PET scan showed that I am in complete remission. As you can see, I'm even starting to grow a little bit of hair back. I just want to take a pause for a minute and say thank you to you, my viewers. You guys showed me so much support through YouTube comments, Facebook comments, even emails and direct messages. There were lots of days where I was having a pretty tough day and I would just log into YouTube and read some of your amazing comments and that would immediately lift my spirits. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now let's get on with these repairs. So these are the 2 Game Boy Advance SPs. This one actually came with this SpongeBob carrying case, which is pretty cool. It's not in the best condition, but it's really not too bad. And looking at them, they're a little scratched up. Not like horrible, and this one's pretty good on the inside. This one's in a little bit worse shape on the inside, but really not too bad. I've definitely seen worse. So these can go for $150 to $200. And I would say this is probably average or a little bit worse than average condition. So I'll probably be able to sell this for at least $150 if I can get it working. I only paid about $100 each for both of these. They also came with some other stuff that I'll show you a little bit later in the video. Let's first take a look at this one and see if we can get it working. So I've actually already removed the battery off of this one and I'll show you why. This is what it looks like. It is so bulged. So when I first got it, the cover was still on it, and the cover itself is all bulged up too. In fact, there's kind of like, I don't know if it's a crack, a total crack or not. It doesn't show through on this side, but it's definitely got a kind of a crease there. So that's definitely a problem. But what I'm gonna do is, I did notice that this one has this pink sticker here. Usually when those turn pink, it means there's been liquid inside. So let's get this taken apart and see what it looks like on the inside. And with all 6 of those screws out, we should be able to pull this bottom shell off. And there we go. It is a little dirty, but what I'm worried about is any liquid damage that's in here. This sticker is pink as well, but I actually don't see any liquid damage so far. I think what we need to do though is take this board all the way out and have a look underneath it and see if there's any liquid damage underneath. All right, so I see a little bit of liquid damage. Not very much though. Let's get this locking tab pushed out so we can get this ribbon cable. Ooh. That's not good. We got some liquid damage. Whoa, a lot of liquid damage there. Okay, that's no good. We got to clean that up. We got some damage on the speaker. And there's a little bit of liquid damage, some corrosion on this chip right here. A little bit up here. Game slot actually looks good, so I don't see anything too crazy going on here. So let's get this thing cleaned up. Let's look at this chip under a microscope and just make sure there's nothing going on there. Then we can also look at this ribbon cable and make sure it's okay as well. All right, and starting up here, we got a little bit there, not bad. A little bit right there. This is probably one of the parts I'm most worried about. These pins are kind of bridged with corrosion. So we'll need to clean that up. That pin, yeah, it looks like it's attached. It almost looked like it was corroded all the way through. I think it's fine though. Nothing down here. This connector actually looks fine. We'll give it a cleaning anyway. A little bit more down here. Not too bad though. Good over here. A little bit right over here. Okay, not too bad. Let's clean this chip up first. I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush and just get that corrosion off of there. I'm just going to kind of go over this whole board. Make sure we got it all off of here. Now for this connector, it's kind of hard to get IPA in there very well. So I'm going to use some BW100 so I can spray it in there. There we go. All right, now let's take a look at that chip. Oh yeah, those legs cleaned off nicely. There's zero damage on those. All right, that's great news. But I'm probably more worried about this ribbon cable. We've got quite a bit of corrosion on here, but what we need to make sure is that these metal pins have not been corroded all the way through anywhere. So I'm just kind of rubbing off as much as I can with my dental pick. This gets all the main gunk off. Okay, and then I'll come through with my toothbrush and get the rest off. Okay, that looks promising. I'll come through with just a little bit of magic eraser. And then a cotton swab with some IPA so I can really rub on it hard. Okay, and I think that's going to be our final look. It's really not too bad. So I'll go through these and get as much of that off as I can. There's really not much left on these things, but there's a little, I guess. So, and we'll just get this all cleaned off so then it doesn't corrode any more than it is already. And hoping there's no damage that will cause it to not work. I think it's good to go, but it's hard to tell for sure. And let's quickly look at the top side of the board. I didn't notice anything, but I also didn't have the microscope turned on. So with the microscope, we got a better view of everything. And I don't see any problems at all. So whatever was spilled on it must have spilled through the top and went down through this the speaker hole here. Speaking of the speaker, it's got a little bit of corrosion on it. Not too much though. I doubt that's going to be enough to affect anything. While we're here, oh wow. Yeah, we need to clean that off. That's disgusting. I mean, that's definitely official. We know right where the spill happened. So we got to clean these buttons off. Yep, those are pretty gross. Luckily, those ones aren't too bad. We also have some spillage over here. All right, so we got to get this cleaned up, and then we can put this thing back together and see if it works after all this. Okay, and I think that's looking about as good as it's going to get. So let's get this thing put all back together, and we'll see if it's going to work. All right, all looking good so far. Gotta get this ribbon cable plugged in. There we go. There we go. Now you can get this power button right where it needs to go. There we go. Bottom cover can go on. Good, good. Okay. There we go. The back cover on. Got a little bit of a bulge there still. Might be able, I'm gonna try and bend that a little bit. It'll probably end up breaking, which I don't want, but I might be able to kind of just bend it back into place, sort of, hopefully. I could heat it, but I don't think I want to do that. Okay, that's as good as we're gonna get it for now. Don't think I really did much there, but looked like I was trying anyway. Okay. All right, let's get a game in and see if it works. Let's go with BattleBots. Okay, game is in. Here we go. Come on. And nothing. Oh, wait a second. Green light, just no display. Okay. I think I need to recheck that ribbon cable. All right, how does it look? Yeah, that's not far enough in. Okay. Remove the locking tab. There we go. That's more like it. All right, let's try that. Oh, we got a screen. And we have a game. Okay, let's check and see if the screen gets brighter. And it does. Cool. All right. So, SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP number 1 is all fixed. Let's check out number 2 and see if we can fix that one. And just as a little teaser, these 3 items also came in this same lot, and none of these work. So if we can get number 2 fixed, Then we'll take a look at these. I for sure have to fix this game since it is a SpongeBob game. But let's look at the other SpongeBob Game Boy Advance first, then we'll get to those other things. Okay, so this one has a battery. It's not too bulged, it doesn't look like, so that's good. Let's just try and turn it on and see what it does. Oh, we get a screen flicker. Let's clean the screen up real quick. There, that's a little better. Okay, just try it again real quick. Yep, just a screen flicker. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is check the voltage in the battery. See how that looks. We got a little bulge in this one, for sure. Okay, and we will set our meter to DC voltage and check both of these pins. We have 3 volts. This is a 3.8 volt battery. That clearly will not do. Let's put in a working battery and try this again. Now I do want to mention, I probably could charge this. It makes me a little nervous having it this bulge though, so that's why I'm just replacing it. All right, now let's see what happens if we try to turn it on. Oh, we got a screen. Okay, but will it play a game? This one is nice and clean on the inside. Pretty scuffed on the outside, but the inside is really nice on this one. All right, let's see if it plays a game. Okay, good so far. Backlight works. Looks like it doesn't need to be charged. And here we go. All the buttons work. Okay, so that's all it took to fix Game Boy Advance SP number 2. Let's move on to these 3 items right here. Hey, I'm trying to make a video here. So let's start with the Game Boy Advance. And I already know this has a lot of damage on these battery terminals. So let's get this apart so we can take care of that little problem. Unfortunately, this one didn't come with a battery cover, which is a bummer, but can always keep it around to test games and stuff with. If it's just a matter of battery corrosion or battery contact corrosion, I mean, that should be easy enough to fix. But I want to have a look at the inside, see how it looks in there, and see if there's any corrosion going on the board or anything like that. All right, now this should come apart just like that. And just looking at it, I don't see, oh, there's some kind of some crusties in here. Right there's some, and right there's some. It looks like, oh, I don't know what that's from. I don't want to know. So there's that. That's not a huge problem though. That we can just wipe out. So we do need to take care of the corrosion on these battery terminals. Let's do that next. Okay. Now I need to remove the screen ribbon right here. There we go. All right, so to clean off this battery corrosion, I'm gonna grab some vinegar. We'll clean it off of that. And also we need to clean it off of this terminal right here. Let's grab that terminal out of here. Just gonna use a dental pick to push down on these terminals. There's a little metal tab right there. We have to push on to get it to come out, and there we go. All right, unfortunately, I'm out of white vinegar, so I'm actually gonna use a little mixture of citric acid, which should do approximately the same thing. Oh yeah, that's amazing. That's working better than I thought. I don't know how strong, I actually have this as a powder. I'm honestly not sure how strong of a mixture I'm supposed to use on this, but I think I used a mixture that's plenty strong enough, given the noises this is making. Oh man, that is cleaning right off. That actually looks really good. I'm gonna leave that in there for a second. And this one, I'm gonna dip in there just like that. Oh yeah, that's working great. I mean, that looks amazing. Like, that looks brand new. Okay, now I did get some in this switch right here, so I'm gonna use some BW100, help clear that out, because there is a lot of water in that. So the BW100 should help dry that out. Okay, Now I just need to thoroughly dry this board. I'm pretty happy with that citric acid. That worked really well. I mean, this thing looks basically brand new. Got a little bit of, a little bit of marking up on it, but really good overall. I'm gonna clean up these contacts with some magic eraser real quick. I'm gonna finish drying this thing off, and then we'll get it installed and see what it does. Now the bumper buttons, and then these side pieces, one over here and one over here. Now I'll just do a quick cleaning of this battery compartment. I'm actually going to use a cotton swab and some citric acid. Just make sure there's no battery residue. Now we can install this right down there. And now we can install the bottom or the back cover onto the rest of the shell. All right, batteries installed. Game in. Let's see what happens. Well, good news so far. Power's right on, and does it play the game? Yeah, of course it plays the game. So we're able to fix this Game Boy Advance just by cleaning those battery contacts. Let's check out that SpongeBob game. All right, and here we just have this one screw in the back. These are pretty easy to get apart. I know I said I was gonna look at that other game too, but I think I'm just gonna try to fix this game in this video. Maybe save the other one for a different video. Okay, that does not look obvious what might be going on here. The pins are definitely dirty, so it wouldn't surprise me if all it took was a little bit of cleaning, but let's get under a microscope and check all the joints on this main chip, and then if all those look good, we'll clean those pins. Actually, we'll clean the pins anyway, but let's check the chip first. I'm just gonna push on these pins one by one, just a little bit. And if they move, they need to be resoldered. If they don't, they're fine. They look fine, honestly, so I don't think any of these are gonna move, but I do wanna just check. Sometimes if you look close enough, you can think you see them move and they don't actually move, so that's what I'm trying to avoid here. Okay, and we are all good here. Just want to recheck this one. Thought maybe I saw it move, but I did not. All right, I mean, it's very clear that these pins are very dirty. And honestly, it looks like that's the only thing that could be going on here. It is possible these capacitors are shorted, but super unlikely. In fact, I don't know if I've ever even seen that on a game before. So let's get these pins cleaned and then we'll try it out. To clean them, I'm going to use a little bit of deoxit. So just put some, whoa, that's a lot. Probably don't need quite that much, but it won't hurt anything. Just going to give it a cleaning with a, what do you call this thing? Magic eraser. Magic eraser is slightly abrasive, so you don't want to go too crazy here. But I've found that they're just abrasive enough to get all the gunk off without causing any problems with taking too much of the finish off of the pins. So this is how I clean games. If you want to see a little more in-depth of how to clean various games, we actually have a post on our website that shows it a little bit more in detail. I'll put a link for that right in the description. That'll take you right to that post. Whew, those pins are nice and clean. If that was the problem, this thing's for sure gonna work. All right, just need to drop the board down in here just like that. And this goes on right about here, slides up. And we just have one screw to install. And here we go. Now we can see if we can play a SpongeBob game on a SpongeBob Game Boy Advance SP. Think it's gonna work? Let's try it out. Okay, Nintendo logo looks good. Oh yeah. I have never played this game before. I don't even know what to do. B. There's no stop, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. I got other things I need to do today. So I was able to fix both of these SpongeBob SquarePants Game Boy Advance SPs. If you like this type of video, you'll probably like the video where I tried to fix 9 broken Nintendo handhelds. I'll put a link for that video up on your screen now. so you can come hang out with me over there and see if I was able to fix them. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.